Hello to everybody. My name is Martin Flaxis, and today I will tell you my experience about the catch crop used in my farm, Krasmali. And yes, a little bit about myself and my farm and my job, what I'm doing. I'm agronomist and I'm farming together with my father in a farm Krasmali. It's in Baltic Sea coast area near Liepāja. There is the red dot on the map, you can see it. We farm in 560 hectares. We mainly grow winter wheat. We grow a little bit of winter oilseed rape, but we grow a lot of peas, a lot of grass seed production, clover seed production, phacelia, a little bit of caraway also. So, and our farm is a seed production farm. And that's also a big point of us, the seed production and also the catch crop seed production in our farm. And also I'm running my own seed sales company, and we sell also catch crop seeds. And that means that I get a lot of information from my customers, from my catch crop seed buyers. So I'm getting the feedback. How was the catch crop mixture, how it was growing, how he established it, etc. So from one point, it's really good. I'm getting a lot of information about the catch crops, and I can share it with you at the moment in this presentation. So why I came to catch crop and why I'm using it in my farm. Like 10 years ago, I saw the first articles, some first soil infiltration tests, and started to think about it. I was studying also in Sweden, the agriculture in university for 1 year there. And there was also the first things where I started to think about it, about the soil. At the moment, I can tell you, yes, it's soil activity, soil structure, what I want to get in my farm, really nice, healthy soil. I don't want to see any erosion and I want to decrease the fertilizer use in my farm. That's also a big point for the future goals. Also stop nutrient leakage in my farm, so it's the nutrients is not running away from my soil. And of course, the catch crops, it's a kind of changing your mind, and it's coming together with no-till, with CTF in my farm. That's the things which we want to introduce. But the real reason is just to think about the soil in my farm. I want to get the better and better soil every year. That's the main reason. So unfortunately, this is the picture from my field like 4 years ago, if I remember correct. There is erosion, and I hope this is the last field and the last picture when I take it like this on my fields. Since this time we don't plow anymore, we start to grow catch crops, and I have never seen stuff like this erosion in my field in last 3 years anymore. So we stick to it, and that was one of the points. This was the year where we already use catch crops and we use mint-till in our farm, and this is the neighbor's field, and you can see wind erosion. It's not common in Latvia, but we saw it, and the topsoil is just blown away. So it was in my mind, yes, I'm in the right direction, my field is looking good, so let's move on this direction and everything will be fine. Another thing which really pushed me into the catch crop thing was mycorrhiza. Many years ago, we did a small tests with mycorrhiza. And then in the picture, you can see on your left, in the left picture, left side, the seed germinated earlier. And they are treated with mycorrhiza. So the seed is treated with mycorrhiza and it germinates faster than the untreated seed. And that's the test which I did myself on, I call it small scale tests or window tests, and I saw the difference. And then I start to dig a little bit deeper about the mycorrhiza, and I find out that it's living, the mycorrhiza, the fungi is living on live plant roots. So you need the plants to establish it and to get it on your soil. So I was, okay, I want to get it in my soil more and more, so as much as possible. So then I start to read more, and okay, it's not so easy about it, but still that's the direction I want to move on in the future. Also, earthworms. I need them. They are my workers. There are many millions, I think billions of them in my soil, and I want to get more and more of them in my soil. And that's, yes, they're helping. They are improving soil, and live plant roots are better than just, yeah, dirt soil. So that's also was the reason why I want to use catch crops in my farm. So there is a small video, and the guy is telling that, yes, help me, help me, earthworms. So, but the catch crops, it's not just the one thing in the farm. It's coming together with a lot of things in the farm. And no-till, that's definitely one of them, and the crop rotation. I take a look back on pictures 5 years ago, where when we were plowing, then cultivating, then going with the drill, and then praying for some rain to establish oilseed rape. And for last 3 or 4 years we established it really easy with no problems. And then it's, yes, I would say it's completely a little bit changing your mind from what you do usually to, yeah, something completely opposite maybe. And yeah, you have to do it. My first real kick in catch crops was 2015, 2016, when good friend and customer of mine, he was doing a lot of catch crops. And I usually say, okay, it's working in Germany, it's working there in Denmark, it's never gonna work here in Latvia because we are more in north, we have different climate, blah, 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 blah. Then I saw some fields and I was like, okay, this is looking interesting. It's here in Latvia. Then we took some analysis because I like some data to see it. We take them to the lab and we found out, okay, green volume 28 tons per hectare, dry matter almost 5 tons per hectare, phosphorus nothing big, 40 kilograms per hectare, but kalium 180 kilograms from the hectare. So from where is this kalium? When after the catch crop is dead, where it's gonna stay in the soil or in the plants, etc. That's, I started to give a lot of questions myself. Magnesium, calcium. This one was quite expensive cover crop mixture, and yeah, not what I wanted to see. But there is the test results from catch crop mixture. Really simple, easy, cheap one. It was really low seeding rates, and that's why I was interested in it. And we took the same samples and we did some work even more. We took the samples from above the ground, the green mass, and it was 0.8 tons of dry matter and 29 kilograms of kalium, like nothing special. But we also did that, we dig out some roots. Of course, not all of them, just the biggest ones. And there was almost 1 ton of dry matter of roots. And that's the biggest one. There is also a lot of small roots going in. So it's much more than 1 ton of dry matter of roots, and kalium 55 kilograms per hectare. And that's really blow my mind. And I was like, okay, I have no excuse. I have to do catch crops in my farm. There is something and you can do it really cheap, no problems. So this was the field I visited. I saw it that autumn and I was, okay, I'm gonna do it in my farm, whatever it will cost me. So I said to myself, if the cover crops will be expensive, I will not use them because they will be too expensive. So I made a goal, not more than 30 euros per hectare on a seed. Then the second thing, because the cover crops we establish in the autumn, and there is the correlation that as early you drill them, the better they are. So at the harvest time, there is no time for drilling them because you are harvesting. So I said, okay, they need to be really easy establish these cover crops and cheap establishment. And then the next thing, as we are a seed grower farm, the big questions was about, yes, the cover crops. And how about the next year's crop? Because I don't want to see them as a weed into the next year's crop and make some problems in the seed production. So we stick to annual crops, so winter killing them. And it's to crops which is easy, we can take out next year with the herbicide if something goes wrong. So we came out that we will spread cover crops before the harvest, because it's easy and cheap, and I have time on this on just before the harvest. So on first year we did that, we spread 10 kilograms of oil radish and 10 kilograms of vetch. We did it separate 2 times running. At the moment I can tell you, you can easily mix them and spread, it's no problem. We are doing in 24 meter strum lines with Amazon spreader. It's no problem at all. I have clients which are doing it in 13 meters and they are still okay. I have even one client which is doing with the same spreader on 36 meters, but I would say it's a little bit too tricky. The smallest wind, etc., can make problems, and the seeds cannot spread so long distance. So yes, we did also tests about just the wedge, and we did the tests with the lupin, Phacelia. Phacelia you can use, but in small tramlines. Lupin, that's a big question we are still working on. This is a picture from one of my clients and friend. He made a catch crop spreader like this. So as you can see, spreading 5 days before the harvest. And with this, you can spread easily Phacelia and all the other mixture, whatever you want to mix. So this will be a one field story for you. I will show you pictures, a lot of pictures from one field in year 2018, and to tell you what we did. So we spread the seeds. You can see oil radish seed on the ground just before the harvest. 5 days before harvest is perfect. You can do it 2 weeks before harvest, but don't do it 1 month before the harvest. You can get into the trouble. So we harvest the winter wheat. Then after winter wheat harvest, yeah, few days, few weeks, and you get pictures like this. There's a lupin trial also. You can see the lupin is starting to grow. Then you come back 2 weeks later and you see the field like this, and you start to notice that your vetch is growing and it's fixing nitrogen for you. So it's already starting to work for your soil and getting some nitrogen into it. Then you came later on mid-September or something like this, and you get the pictures like this, and you start to believe yourself, okay, it's working. I will get a nice crop there. And yes, on second year we started to count plants per square meter, etc., etc. But the result was, it's all fine. 24 meters spreading with the fertilizer spreader, it's no problem at all. You can do it. And then in mid-October, November, you get a picture like this, and then you are really proud of yourself, what you did, and you dig a little bit with your shovel, and you see nice soil there. You dig out a lot of roots, and also especially vetch roots, and there is nitrogen. It's still fixing there. So you're saying, yes, I'm in the right direction. I'm doing the right thing in my farm. So in first year when we did it, we were working on 500 hectares total in the farm, and we did it in 100 hectares. So it was 25% of the farm area. And as you know, year 2018 was really dry year. And I was like, oh my God, what I did. I just made maybe like stupid mistake, and yes, just spend some money and will not get anything back, because the germination was really low at the beginning, because it was really, really dry. Then in mid-September come the first rain. The seeds start to grow because they were under the straws. And then in mid-November, November, you get a picture like this. That's the same field, the same place, just 2 months later. And there is a big green volume. I'm not measuring it anymore. I'm not taking it to the laboratory anymore, because in my mind, I am ready into it. I know what's going on there. So then you say, okay, if I can do it in year 2018 in such bad conditions, I can do it any year. So of course you do a lot of tests. I called to one of my friends and he's tell me, you need to roll it. And okay, let's do some frost rolling. We took a rolls and we started to roll. Of course, we rolled half field and half we left, just to compare. And my results was that if we have winters, then we don't need to roll because winter will kill it, the catch crop. And I said, okay, the rolling maybe yes, Germany, Denmark, I don't know, Poland, etc., where you don't have big frosts, but especially here in Latvia, it's not necessarily. It could a little bit depend on how you later on in spring you drill with, what kind of drill, etc. But yes, in our case, we don't roll it anymore last 2 years. Of course, you can see some nice oil radish, really big one, big roots. And this is the pictures from the spring. The biggest picture is a place where is a big biomass of oil radish and veg after the normal winter. And then there is a picture, you can see a lot of green oil radish plants still. That's a winter where it was only -5 degrees here in coast area. So it was a little bit problem there. But still, and then you can see a picture where the catch crop mixture was rolled and heavy winter. So I would say it's completely dead and it's easy to drill with any drill. And it's like, yes, completely, you can see the ground there. And then there is top one more picture with the deep till radish, and it's a big root and it's dead and there is a big hole. And a friend of mine was laughing that you need a bulldozer to level your surface of the field after the catch crop mixture like this. But let's see. So in that field, what we did, there is the picture. We are drilling in the spring. So no big costs, just go with the drill. Don't do anything more. Don't do discs, don't do harrowing, plowing, nothing. Don't do it. Just go with your drill. We did it with Mintil drill, no problems at all. There is a picture of germination. And as we are a little bit crazy farmers, we grow Phacelia for the seed production. And I said, okay, the catch crop mixture is good. Let's try to push this field really good one. And so Phacelia there. So we drill Phacelia. Later on, the field looks like this, really good. And there's the picture of the roots, and you can see the mycorrhiza on the roots, and it's working. So that's one of the things why I want to have Phacelia in my crop rotation. And for my clients, I tell, use it in the catch crop mixture to have mycorrhiza work for you. Just a nice picture from the field. Everything is even, no problems. The catch crop didn't make any problems the following year. This is the harvest of the field. And then after the harvest, there was a lot of Phacelia seed dropped and it germinates. And we again went just straight with the Mintil drill. We drilled some winter wheat and they were nice looking. As the Phacelia germinate, I was laughing that I have two crops at the moment, Phacelia and winter wheat. Of course, Phacelia will die over the winter, and it did. So the frost came later on, and this is the next year, the field on next year. It's looking even, looking good, no problems. I have questions from farmers. What if the catch crop is coming as a weed? And there is a photo with Phacelia, a nice looking plant, but it was small and didn't make any problems on the field. There is a small picture from just before the harvest. The field is perfect, and we are now thinking what was really the issue, but this field give us the highest protein content in wheat, so in the farm. So we think it's because of the crop rotation of the catch crops, and maybe the soil is already starting to build up a little bit. I hope so. So, and then I did, okay, there was a winter wheat. Before that, I did a lot of good stuff for this field, and let's do second winter wheat in a row. That's not good crop rotation to do second winter wheat, but business is business also, and winter wheat is quite good money. So we did no-till drilling of winter wheat, and that's how the field looks in end of September. Nice winter wheat field with low costs, no soil works, no discs or plowing. And here is another field which we tested this year, and where I see some potential now, and we will do it in following years also. So there was a winter wheat, And before harvest, we spread 25 kilograms per hectare of vetch. Then it was 1st of August or end of July, something like this. Then we harvest on 9th of August the winter wheat, and then all August was 1 month's time for vetch to grow and to develop. And I counted around 10 to 15 wedges per square meter. There should be 25, so I would say 50% germinated from the seeds which we spread. And then in September, beginning of September, glyphosate and drilling winter wheat with no-till drill. That's what we did in that field. You can see the picture from 15th of August. The veg is quite big already, and there is the roots and there is nitrogen in the roots. But later on, I figured out that in the field after the drilling, there is veg still on the field. Not a lot, but there is. And it's fixing some nitrogen and working for my soil and working for the winter wheat. So let's see how it will end up. That's another test. So another field, just to show you that the catch crops is working. So there was a catch crop mix, the same spread with the spreader, died over the winter. This is spring. We sowed the peas with disc drill, no soil work, nothing. Just after the catch crop, you go with the drill. The peas, so it germinates and it's growing and looking well, and you can see, yeah, there is no problem. There is the field. I was too lazy to look for the picture from the harvest, but the harvest was the same as we did in our field just next to it, where we plowed, where we use herbicides, etc. So it was all good. So don't be afraid of using catch crops in your farm, and yes, not to plow your land. Another test what we did is with the white clover. We established white clover under the barley and under the spring wheat. You can do it under the oats or rape. It's no matter, any crop. And we just add 3 kilograms of white clover seed per hectare to the barley. This is the picture which I really like because I made a mistake. I didn't switch on small mini box at the drilling time. I forgot to do it. And yes, in the books, they say that the white clover fixes around 30 up to 90 kilograms of nitrogen per year. So I pick 50 hectares. So in left side, there is 50 kilograms of nitrogen, and on the right side, there is 0 kilograms of nitrogen per hectare. So later on, the white clover is really well established. You do the glyphosate, you go with your drill. This case, the friend helped us with weaving no-till drill, disc drill. You can see earth forms, the soil is nice looking. And this is the field after the drilling in the autumn. And then I was asking myself, okay, we did it really cheap, but how cheap we did it? So there was a roundup, there was a drilling, and the drilling was 4 to 5 liters per hectare. The clover seed cost me 18 euros. That's nothing. And so the question, can you do it cheaper? I don't believe. Any work on the field will cost you more. And there is the big question. If you establish crops so cheap, how it looks the next year? Will you drop the yield? And in this case, no yield drops. It's even maybe was a little bit better than the other fields. But again, a little test, less nitrogen, 30 kilograms less nitrogen. And the winter wheat is the same yield, 7 point something tons per hectare, no problem. Picture from the same field, the same place. It's all good and looking really well. So I was really happy with it. Less nitrogen input in the field, the same yield and the same quality. So no problem at all. So what we will do the next years, because we will not stop here. We will do some more things in our farm. And one thing what we want to try is intercropping. So we will do some peas or wedge catch crop establishment and then drilling winter wheat. And this is picture from this year's autumn. So you can see winter wheat and peas growing together. Peas will die during the winter wheat. I hope will survive the winter and will grow the next year. And yes, the peas are doing the work and fixing the nitrogen for the wheat. That's the thing we will do on. We already are doing some tests on lupin seed. We want to introduce a lupin in the catch crop mixture just because of the phosphor uptake. Let's see after the year. Also some drilling on green cover seed. Some farmers are doing it already, so we did some tests and let's see. But that's definitely the thing we will move on this direction. And yes, that's my experience, and thanks for your time. And I would say you just think about your soil. Thank you very much.